What's going on, YouTubers? It's the Natural Born Thriller, and welcome everyone to WWE 205 Live Review, the show from May 7th, 2019. May 7th. It didn't come out right. um, your commentators were Vic Joseph, Nigel McGuinness, and Aiden English. And no, not this time there was no David Otunga. Thank God. Um, I don't remember what they were last week on 205 Live. Basically, what pertains to after SmackDown went off the air. Louisville, Kentucky. That's where they're at. So now we get to the show. So the opening show was Maria and Mike Kanellis basically coming from to open the show, where pertains to the no disqualification match between Akira Tozawa and Mike Kanellis. And also, after that was done, we get to a promo from D. Brian Kendrick and Akira Tozawa. Well, basically, D. Brian Kendrick doing the promo basically for Akira Tozawa, while Akira Tozawa just stands there looking intimidating. And then it ends with Akira Tozawa standing there alone, because D. Brian Kendrick move away from the side. And then Akira Tozawa looks with this intimidating look on his face, like, and everything, and then he does this. Basically, he's dangerous because he smile in a dangerous satisfaction way. That's how I take from it, basically. So he does that what pertains to him being funny and everything, but the way that the Brian Kendrick basically showcase Akira Tozawa how dangerous he can be, what pertains to these type of matches that the Brian Kendrick had with him, which I believe was like about a year ago or two. And then Akira Tozawa, he did the smile at the end of it, and like, oh yeah, that's showcasing how dangerous he can be. I'm not being a troll of this one. I'm legit. I'm not being, oh yeah, I'm just fooling around and everything. No, I'm serious, folks. It's kind of like how Asuka did back in, well, yeah, back in basically on NXT, where she does the smile on her face because she's gonna kill you. That's how I look at it where pertains to Akira Tozawa when he did that smile where pertains when he gets his hands on Mike Kanellis in that no disqualification match. He's smiling because he's going to kill Mike Kanellis. But we'll get to that when we get to the main event. So the show opened up with a footage what happened last week, or should I say 2 weeks ago, with Tony Nese after his match that he beat Drew Gulak. Art Davari comes up to him and saying that he could take him out just anytime he wanted, but he chose not to and all that. But he just wanted him to know that he could have, and walked away, basically playing mind games. So then we get Art Davari versus the return of Noam Dar, and we had Tony Nese, the Cruiserweight champion, on commentary for this match. Match itself was decent. Art Davari gets the win over Noam Dar, which again was a decent match. After the match, Tony Nese jumps into the ring. He teases that he's going to do a sneak attack onto Art Davari. Art Davari turns around, and then Tony Nese I guess he's going to attack him, but he basically made him flinch. And then Tony Nese let him know that he could have attacked him anytime any moment, but he chose not to. But he just wanted him to know that he could have. And basically, using Art Davari's words against, Tony's using Art Davari's words against him. I thought that was pretty good storytelling there. And that was it. Basically, it's built up more tensions between Tony Nese and Art Davari for their Cruiserweight Championship match at Money in the Bank, which is going to be pre-show. But that was that. We get to Oney Lorcan. He talks about how he lost his opportunity where pertains going for the Cruiserweight Championship, where pertains to Art Davari. But he says he's going to keep working harder, keep training harder, and he's going to keep fighting harder until he gets that opportunity. And that was that. Yeah. The Sin Brothers defeated some tag teams. Who cares? Moving on. I don't care about the Sin Brothers. We get to. Oh yeah, and then after the match, they cut a promo. The Sin Brothers cut a promo to the Lucha Trash Party. Again, don't care. Moving on. We get to Drake Maverick. He talks to Mike and Mary Kanellis, where retains to Mike Kanellis facing not Arya Davari. I meant to say Akira Tozawa. Excuse me. And I forgot to mention too, by the way. In the opening promo, Maria Kanellis said that D. Brian Kendrick is going to be banned from ringside between Mike Kanellis versus Akira Tozawa for this no disqualification match. So as they head to the ring, Drake Maverick is like, "Oh, hold on, Maria, where do you think you're going?" And Maria was like, "Oh, I'm going to with her husband." And she's then Drake Maverick says, "D. Brian Kendrick is banned from ringside, just like you're banned from ringside and everything." Basically, both parties, what pertains to Akira Tozawa having D. Brian Kendrick, and also what pertains to Mike Kanellis having Maria Kanellis there. Both parties will be banned from ringside, which means Akira Tozawa and Mike Kanellis had to do this on their own, without Maria Kanellis at ringside for Mike Kanellis and D. Brian Kendrick being not being there at ringside for Akira Tozawa. So yeah, and that was that. We'll get to the main event after we get to this one thing, and it's an announcement that 205 Live, which it was for this week, by the way. I'll get to review when I get a chance to watch that show. They're going to be in the UK, in London, basically. So basically, they announced there's going to be Mark Andrews, James Drake, I meant to say, Gentleman Jack Gallagher, and Humberto Carrillo in a fatal four-way match. So then we get to Sarah. I keep forget how you say her last name, but Sarah interviews Gentleman Jack Gallagher about his match for what pertains to his three competitors that's going to be in this fatal four-way match. And then Humberto Carrillo walks up and says he's looking forward to beating Gentleman Jack Gallagher and all that. And Gentleman Jack Gallagher responds by saying, "You can try," and they both shook hands, and that was it. I thought it was gonna be a one-on-one match between the two, but I guess they're gonna say that for some other time. But whatever. And then we get to the main event. We get to Mike Kanellis versus Akira Tozawa. No disqualification. The grudge. The end of rivalry between the two. So they start. They both are fired up and all that. We get to this match where there was steel chairs involved. I believe a steel step was involved at one point. Tables involved, which it was used to later on to the end of the match. Basically, there was a trash can involved. They fought in the ring, out of the ring a couple of times. It was a back and forth action between Mike Kanellis and Akira Tozawa. Very, very good no disqualification match. Then in the end, our Devar puts Mike Kanellis to a table with a Hurricanrana, or should I say, like a Frankensteiner off the top rope, to not from inside the ring but outside the ring, onto two tables, brings it back into the ring, does put a couple of stacks of chairs on Mike Kanellis, goes to the top rope, and Akira Tozawa goes for his top rope senton, and Mike Kanellis from there was done after that. So Akira Tozawa pins him 1, 2, 3, and that was it. Maria Kanellis comes out to attend her husband, and then we get D. Brian Kendrick come to attend Akira Tozawa to celebrate Akira Tozawa's victory, and that was it. That was the end of the rivalry, the feud between, well, I guess you could say mini feud between Mike Kanellis and Akira Tozawa, and Akira Tozawa ends up winning, which means Akira Tozawa can move on to one day or someday get his opportunity of the Cruiserweight Championship, because after all, Akira Tozawa is a former Cruiserweight Champion himself. So yeah, that was that. And I thought it was a good disqualification match. Not the greatest, not the best, but still good. Still good. Talking about wrestling for 205 Live from May 7th, 2019. 3 matches. One of them I didn't give a fuck about. So my overall rating for the show, I'm gonna go 6.5 out of 10. And with that being said, that's your review for 205 Live, which unfortunately was a week late, but I apologize for that. But thank you all for watching. It's the Natural Born Driller, saying peace on the streets.